May 1940. The phony war has erupted into a real war. The Germans invade the Netherlands and Belgium on May 10th. What the Germans call Fall Gelb is underway. The French army and the British Expeditionary Force both move into Belgium as planned to take up position behind the Dyle River and stop the German offensive there. 3 days later, the Germans are already pounding the third line of defense in the Netherlands. In Belgium, they are expected to arrive at the Dyle line very soon as well. You too have been ordered north with your unit, the North Staffordshire Regiment. After a 3-day march, your unit has arrived at its designated sector in the Louvain area as part of the BEF's 1st Infantry Division. Your part of the line is at a bridge, not far from the Belgian village of Corbeek-Dyle. The Germans will definitely want to use this bridge to get to Brussels, so this is a key position in the Dyle line. Owing to Belgian neutrality lasting until the 10th of May, the French and the British troops were allowed into Belgium only a few days ago. Arriving at the Dyle line, they will need to help prepare the defenses. More trenches and emplacements are still being constructed, which are urgently needed to give this defense line some more meaning. Report to the Field HQ for your orders immediately and prepare for the onslaught. May 21st, 1940. The Battle of France is reaching a critical stage. The German thrust through the Ardennes forest has been very successful, as their armored spearhead reaches the Channel coast near Abbeville on this day. The main body of the Allied forces on the continent, consisting of 3 French armies and the bulk of the British Expeditionary Force, is now trapped in Belgium and northern France. Something needs to be done about this very quickly. French and British commanders agree they must counterattack to cut off the German breakthrough or face certain defeat. The past few days, British and French commanders have already drawn up a plan to cut off the westbound German spearhead by launching simultaneous attacks from north and south of the corridor. The starting point for the southbound attack will be at Arras. British will attack from Arras with almost all of their remaining armor. The attack will consist of 2 columns. You will be in the left column. The right column will attack in parallel, and both columns will attack toward the southeast. After a stop at Vimy and another one at the assembly area, you have now reached the starting line. Tension rises as the moment of truth moves closer. The fate of France and that of the entire BEF depends on this counterattack. You have to stop the Germans at all costs. June 1940. Ever since the Germans broke through at Sedan 3 weeks ago, the Allies have been on the back foot. The German attack through the Ardennes achieved complete surprise. Nobody expected the panzers to advance all the way to the Channel coast as fast as they did, but they did. Except for a courageous counterattack at Arras on the 21st of May, the BEF and the French army have been on the back foot. Your unit has been marching for days to get to the ever-shrinking perimeter around Dunkirk. Calais fell on the 27th, and Belgium capitulated on the 28th. The British are now faced with a 30-kilometer gap on their left flank. The perimeter around Dunkirk is shrinking, and an attack on the remaining Allied forces seems to be a matter of time only. The plan is to evacuate as much of the British Expeditionary Force and other Allied forces as possible from the Dunkirk beach in Operation Dynamo, which is in full swing right now. The evacuation is still ongoing, and it would be absolutely disastrous if the Germans were to break through our last line of defense here. The Germans are pushing in on the shrinking perimeter from all sides, including from the air. Today, it's up to you and your comrades to buy the evacuation operation more time and to keep the Germans away from the beach as far as possible. June 6th, 1944. After months of preparation, the D-Day invasion starts today. The invasion fleet is now crossing the English Channel, only hours away from landing on the Normandy beaches. To protect those beaches against German flanking attacks, a couple of bridges east of the invasion beaches must be secured. This task has been assigned to the British 6th Airborne Brigade. They are to seize the bridge over the Cannes Canal and the nearby bridge over the Orne River. In the past weeks, you've been trained to be awake at night, and your company has exercised by taking the bridges over the Exeter Ship Canal so many times they could now do it in their sleep. The flight from Tarrant Rushton was uneventful, except for the turbulence behind the Halifax bombers. The formation crossed the English Channel in complete darkness. Then, just after midnight, the Horsa gliders were released near the French coast. Months of training proved to be invaluable as the pilot landed the glider right at the bridge over the Orne Canal. Time to spring into action. First, chase the Germans out and secure Pegasus Bridge. Major Howard will issue further orders later. June 13th, 1944. You have been on the ground in Normandy for a week now. The city of Cannes proves to be a tough nut to crack. The Germans have dug in on its north side, beating back every attack so far. However, General Montgomery sees control of Cannes as vital to the Normandy campaign. He has already decided to switch tactics and go around Cannes in a wide two-pronged attack. Then, on the 12th of June, the perfect opportunity presents itself. On the right flank of the British Second Army, US troops have forced back the German 352nd Infantry Division. This creates a gap in the front line for 30 Corps to exploit. Bypassing the German Panzerlehr Division, which is blocking the direct route near Tilly-sur-Seulles, the 22nd Armored Brigade quickly advances through the gap in a flanking maneuver to exploit the opening, seize Villers-Bocage, and advance toward the west and the Panzerlehr Division. Today, you'll be in charge of the troops pushing to Villers-Bocage from the west. You will have to advance, regardless of any German resistance, and break through any defenses you might find. Speed is of the essence. We must capture Villers-Bocage before the Germans have time to recover. 18th of July, 1944. Operation Goodwood starts today. After the failure of frontal attacks on Cannes during Operation Charnwood 10 days ago, this attack will bypass Cannes to the east. You are awakened by the thundering sound of more than 1,000 RAF heavy bombers flying extremely low on their way to bomb enemy positions in Colombelles, Cagny, and a number of other villages and towns. This was followed up by our artillery, which put up a fierce barrage while you were on your way to the starting point. More bomber attacks on various targets followed, and when you moved forward, the RAF Typhoons roared into the attack, targeting German strongpoints. Thanks to the air and artillery support, progress has been good so far. You're already miles to the south of Cannes. In front lies your target for today, which is the village of Cagny. If military intelligence is right about this place, this could be a staging area for the German 21st Panzer Division. We have no idea what the bombing attacks have achieved, or what remains of the enemy. The whole area in and around the village looks like it has been completely obliterated. They might still be hiding somewhere, so it's up to you to take control of the area and form a closed front to defend against any possible German counterattacks. Instead of racing too far forward in a deep penetration, the idea of Operation Goodwood is to draw in enemy armor and to fight it from a defensive position. But first, you need to take the area around Cagny and secure it. September 17th, 1944. Operation Market Garden has begun. The biggest gamble of General Montgomery's illustrious career is underway. No less than 9 bridges will have to be taken to achieve the goal of the entire operation, which is to cross the Rhine River at Arnhem, thereby bypassing the Siegfried Line and opening a direct route into the Ruhr area and the rest of Germany. 30 Corps has also started moving into the Netherlands from Belgium. They need to cover the distance to Arnhem in a matter of days if they are to relieve your unit at the Arnhem Bridge. In the Nijmegen area, the US paratroopers will also attempt to capture the bridges. You have marched from your drop zone to Arnhem proper in the meantime. The drop zone, however, was miles away from the bridge you have to take. You have been marching east along the river for a while now, wondering why there isn't a single German to be seen. That is bound to change once you're there, and since you're now in the city proper, you could run into a German patrol at any moment. Your orders are to take the bridge and to hold it until 30 Corps arrives from the south. It's a relatively simple objective, but it will be hard to achieve. September 21st, 1944. It's day 5 of Market Garden, and today will decide the outcome of the entire operation. 30 Corps has been advancing despite fierce German counterattacks on the motorway they're using, which has already been dubbed Hell's Highway. It lies a bit higher than the surrounding countryside, and there's no way to venture off-road as the ground is too soft to support most vehicles. Despite the constant counterattacks from east and west of the highway, you've advanced all the way to Nijmegen, where you crossed the Waal River, courtesy of the US Airborne who have taken the bridge following a heroic river crossing. After a first clash yesterday, darkness put a stop to both the fighting and the advance. On top of that, there were some delays in supply, but now everyone is getting ready to advance to Arnhem. If the past few days are anything to go by, the Germans will not make this easy. Anything could still happen. Unfortunately, we have no intel on German strength and position in the area, so we should start moving forward and find out where they are ourselves. The Paras are waiting for us at the very next bridge, just 7 miles away. Let's go. It's the 20th of September, 1944. You have been in battle for 3 days straight since you were para-dropped 3 days ago. Enemy resistance has intensified, and the situation is getting worse for the British paratroopers in and around Arnhem. Things were not helped by the distance between the drop zone and the Arnhem Bridge. Both routes from the drop zone to the bridge are still blocked, and supplies are dwindling. Since the resupply operation failed as well, things are getting worse by the minute. Controlling the bridge has become impossible. Using the public telephone system, the Paras at the bridge find out that 30 Corps is still south of Nijmegen, fighting to get control over the bridge there. It doesn't look like they will break through soon enough to prevent the Paras in Arnhem from being overrun. The units fighting west of the bridge are to retreat from Arnhem to the town of Oosterbeek. We have orders to get through to Oosterbeek as well, to join the divisional perimeter there. Pick up any stragglers you might find. Make sure you stay out of the hands of the Germans. They are all over the place. This is your last chance to get out alive. Don't waste it. March 24th, 1945. Today, the largest airborne operation in history takes place. Nearly 17,000 airborne troops will be dropped east of the River Rhine in Germany. After the disaster of Market Garden, this is the moment British paratroopers have been waiting for, anxious to set the record straight. You will land behind enemy defenses in front of Basel with orders to secure the area in support of the planned Rhine crossing. Operation Varsity is the airborne part of Operation Plunder, during which the 21st Allied Army Group will cross the river near the town of Basel. Even if the US Army is already across the Rhine at Remagen, Operation Plunder has to be executed as soon as possible to take at least some pressure away from the Remagen bridgehead. The idea is to cross the Rhine in 3 places today. Your task is to interfere with enemy activity in the Basel area, preventing the enemy from making any meaningful attacks on the crossings. Your unit, the 6th Airborne Division, will be the very first wave. Your orders are to secure the nearby train station and to clear the way for the next wave.